Welcome back to another episode of E-Nags versus the NFL. Last week we had a really good week. We actually went 10-5 against the money line and 9-4-2 against the spread. So we're on kind of a roll. We had a bad week in week 7, but besides that, we've been really good. Brings our overall to 75-38 money line with my picks and 68-41-6 against the spread. This is a wild week, some great games and some real shitters. But my nephew's here and wants to say something.
Hi.
And that was Orlando's minute on the show, even though it was like 5 seconds, but still. Let's get into this. First game, we've got the Miami Dolphins at the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs are 1.5-point favorites all the way in Germany. That's going to be an awesome game at 9:30 a.m. Looking at the injury report, it looks like Robert Hunt is out for the Dolphins. Clyde Edwards-Helaire out for the Chiefs. I'm not really sure if that affects much for me. It's going to be really interesting to see. The Dolphins really have not beat a great team yet this season. They've lost to the Bills and the Eagles, so they haven't really beat anybody that's great, but the Chiefs are coming off a really bad loss against the Broncos. This is going to be really interesting to see. I just don't know how to kind of gauge this game. You're going to see it's in Germany, so I guess that kind of makes things a little weirder where I'm not sure if you can really judge this game for what it actually is. It's going to be fun to see Mahomes battle it out against Tua, especially having Tyreek in his return game. I am going to take the Chiefs to win and cover here. I don't know. I like the Chiefs in this one. I want to see if the Dolphins are for real before I pick them against these best teams. Next game, we've got the Rams at the Packers. This is another stinker of a game. We don't know if Matt Stafford's going to play with his finger injury right now, so I guess that's why the spread is what it is. The Packers are favored by 3 points. I don't know. I hate this game. This game's going to suck, especially if Stafford doesn't go. Just because of Stafford maybe not going, that makes me lean the Packers. That's pretty much the only reason. The Packers really haven't shown much to me of why you'd want to pick them in a lot of these games. So we're going to take the Packers to win and cover, pretty much just because I'm not sure if Stafford's going to be good to go. We've got a little bit of a surprise to me here. We've got the Buccaneers at the Texans. Texans are 3-point favorites. I guess I would say they're probably in the same tier when you're talking about the Texans and Buccaneers, but seeing the Texans as 3-point favorites is still kind of wild to me. Filer is out for the Bucs, and it looks like Laremy Tunsil is questionable for the Texans, same with Damian Pierce and Brevin Jordan, but gonna be an interesting game. I'm not sure if this is like a must tune into game. It will be interesting to see how the Texans play though. I like their team right now. Give me the Texans to win and cover against the Bucs. The Bucs look pretty decent against the Bills, but I think the Texans have looked really good offensively, and I think they can give that Bucs defense some fits. So give me the Texans to win and cover there. We've got the Washington Commanders at the New England Patriots. The Patriots are 2.5-point favorites, which is wild. You pretty much just saw a huge fire sale from the Commanders at the deadline. Got Chase Young going to San Francisco and Montez Sweat going to Chicago. It looks like Curtis Samuel is out for the Commanders. Nobody too huge for the Patriots that's out. A few guys that are questionable, but probably assuming they will go. This is gonna be really interesting. I'm excited to see how Sam Howell will play against a New England-led defense. I think they could definitely give him some fits. But this one is one that I don't know. I like the Commanders to like the Patriots at all this season. Oh, this one's gross. Give me the Commanders to win a cover. I hate that, especially just coming off a fire sale, but maybe it's like one of those last ride games for the team where you pretty much just saw the front office trade all the good players, and it's like, you guys are left, so figure it out. So I think the Commanders take this and use it to their advantage. Give me the Commanders to win a cover. Got the Chicago Bears at the New Orleans Saints. Saints are 8.5-point favorites. Not too much of a shock. I think Bajent is still going in this game. Justin Fields questionable, so he actually might go, which would be pretty interesting to see. Saints, looks like Demario Davis is questionable. I'm assuming he'll go. Same with Taysom. We finally have the Saints offense kind of looking how we thought it would with Derek Carr. It looked a little bit explosive. He's hitting Rashid Shaheed down with deep balls. Their defense is still good, even though the Colts have been putting up points on everybody, so I'm not really sure if I'm gonna fault them too much for that. But give me the Saints to win a cover. I think that defense is really going to give Bajent or Fields, if it's his first time going in a while, I think they're going to give him some fits. I think Derek Carr might have figured it out a little bit, not a ton, but a little bit. So give me the Saints to win and cover the 8.5, even though it's a massive spread. Moving right along to the Vikings and the Falcons. Falcons are 3.5-point favorites. Sadly, you have the Minnesota Vikings with Kirk Cousins going down, which really sucks. I think for me, it's very interesting. One of my takeaways from that quarterback show was everybody loves Kirk Cousins now, and I mean, I do too, just like everybody else. But it makes me a little curious why other quarterbacks wouldn't do it. I feel like Kirk Cousins was a bit of not a taboo guy in NFL circles, but he didn't get the love he did before the show, and everybody kind of saw the show, loved how he's just a normal guy, and I love him too, so definitely hard to see him go out. They did trade for Josh Dobbs, but I don't know if they'll play him. I mean, they might play him just coming in on whatever. If not, I think it's it's like Darren Hall or something from BYU, I believe. That's just gonna be really hard to get around. People have given the Falcons defense a little bit of grief, but I think they're better than people think they are. Vikings are coming off 3 straight wins, but this definitely looks like a spot where they could lose. Falcons are coming off a rough loss against Will Levis in his debut where he balled out, but give me the Falcons to win and cover here. I think they have a nice little bounce back. Give me them to win and cover cover the 3.5. Next is the Cardinals at the Browns. Browns are 9.5-point favorites. I just saw that Deshaun Watson is going to play, so honestly, if anything, that makes you want to take the Cardinals, but they're starting Clayton Tune, which I think is really the story of the game. Clayton Tune starting against this defense it almost makes you want to like, I feel bad for the kid. Like, it's going to be so hard you're not going to be able to evaluate him. This defense has been very good. They've gotten out in front of people a lot. And I think that's just going to make the game almost impossible for Tune to have any sort of success. The Browns coming off that rough loss against the Seahawks. And to me, I don't see it. I don't see them being as feisty. I think for a while, everybody gave them a lot of credit for that Cowboys game. And I think that kind of magic has worn off. So give me the Browns to win and cover the 9.5. Next thing, we have the Seattle Seahawks at the Baltimore Ravens. One of the best games of the week right now. And the Ravens are 5.5-point favorites. This one's going to be a very fun game. Looks like Metcalf and Lockett are questionable. I expect both of them to go. Besides, it looks like the Ravens are relatively healthy, which is kind of crazy. You haven't heard that a lot the last few years. But you've got 2 big wins off of the Bengals loss for the Seahawks. So they're kind of rolling right now. They're looking good. And the Ravens are on 3 straight wins. They had a close one against the Cardinals last week. Pretty much the main story for them is Lamar has just played so well. And it's just, do you think that's going to continue against the Seahawks? I could see it, but I think the Seahawks are feisty. I could see a late backdoor cover here. But I think the Ravens still get it done. So give me the Ravens to win and the Seahawks to cover. Next game, we've got the Colts-Panthers. Just would have been such a fun game if we got Richardson versus. We've got the Colts at the Panthers. Panthers are 2.5-point dogs. Would have been awesome if we got Richardson versus Young, but we're not getting that. We're getting Minshew versus Young, which is still fun. Hey, also, give me my flowers last week. I predicted the Panthers are going to win and cover that game, and it happened. So, hope you guys put some money on that. But I think this is going back to the Panthers' ways. I think the Colts are going to win and cover this. They've been playing really good with all these teams. I think the Panthers are going to score. I like the over in this game at 43.5 a lot, honestly. But give me the Colts to win and cover. I just think they'll score a lot of points. I think they'll be able to get 1 or 2 stops that I don't think the Panthers are capable of getting. Another great game. We've got the Cowboys at the Eagles. 3-point favorites are the Eagles. Just what a fun game. Like, 2 of the powerhouses in the NFC is going to be super huge for seeding coming down the line. Looks like Tyler Smith, I think, is questionable. Eagles, no one crazy is questionable in this game. Not that I'm seeing right now. It's going to be super interesting to see how they play. I'm super pumped for this game. It's going to be super cool to see what's going to happen. Now, making the pick here is almost impossible to me. I think it's going to be a close game. I think the Eagles are going to edge it out, so I'm going to do kind of the cheesy way to go. I think this game is going to be a field goal. I think it's going to be really close. Give me the Cowboys to cover, Eagles to win. I think it's going to be a really close game. I think the Eagles just a little bit better. I think I trust their offense a little bit more than Dallas's, but I mean, Dallas has looked good though. I mean, the last 2 games they've looked really good against the Rams and the Chargers, but then the game before that you have them getting trashed on by the Niners. So give me the Eagles to win, Cowboys to cover. Pooper game of the week. We've got the Giants at the Raiders. Raiders are 1.5-point favorites. This is the grossest, most vile game, and it's not that I'm not gonna watch it, but like, I don't want to. So it'll be on, probably on silent. But yeah, this game just sucks, man. You just had McDaniels. They pretty much cleaned house for the Raiders. I could see them maybe having to bounce back with that. I think they said they're not playing Jimmy G. I think they're playing O'Connell. Giants haven't looked too good either. Just give me the Raiders to win a cover. Maybe they just feed Devontae now, and that helps my fantasy team too. Super fun game. The game that I wish I was going to. The Buffalo Bills at Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals are 1.5-point favorites. I could just take the coward way out and take the Bills to cover, Bengals to win, and hedge myself a little bit with my happiness. But, man, the Bills are banged up. You got Dawson Knox. You've got Trey White. You've got Mal Milano. I mean, crazy injuries, all on IR, all on the defense, which is tough. And then you've got the Bengals. Looks like Keem Davis-Gaither's questionable. And so is Trey Hendrickson. I know he had an ankle injury during the last game. But this is going to be super fun. Joe Burrow had his kind of we're back game, which was very cool to see. Absolutely spanked the 49ers 31-17. I think it's going to be a super fun game to see. I'm not going to try to do what I have been doing and try to like hedge my own happiness here. I think the Bengals are going to win a cover. I think this is a good spot for them. I think the Bengals are the worst matchup possible for the Bills. I think the Bengals do a lot of looks that confuse quarterbacks, and I think Josh Allen sometimes can get in that rhythm where he does just kind of force it. And I could definitely see that happening against the Bengals. And the offense coming off that, you've got a banged up Bills secondary. So I really do think that the Bengals can take advantage here. So give me the Bengals to win a cover. And the last game of the week, we have the Chargers at the Jets. The Chargers are 3.5-point favorites. I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all. 3.5-point favorites. I'm not sure if they'll be able to move the ball on this Jets defense. I mean, Chargers did look good against the Bears, but it was the Bears. But the games before that, you had the Cowboys and the Chiefs. Offense did not look good, and I would say the Cowboys defense is good. Chiefs defense is all right. Jets are coming off 3 straight wins. Give me the Chargers to win, the Jets to cover. I think the Jets defense is going to make this ugly for Herbert. Herbert has not been playing well this year. I'm expecting a little bit more out of him, so hopefully you get that in this game. But I think that Jets defense is good enough where they're going to give him trouble, and they're going to keep this game ugly enough where the Jets are going to be in the game till the last second. So give me the Jets to cover, but the Chargers to win. And then that is it, guys. Those are all my picks for week 9 in the NFL. So just let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys are betting. Yeah, this is going to be a good slate. I mean, there are some stinkers. I mean, you have the Raiders and Giants, but that's how you get the games like Bills, Bengals, Cowboys, Eagles. You have Seahawks, Ravens. Just a lot of fun games, a lot of fun storylines. So, and it's starting off hot with the Dolphins at the Chiefs. Join Discord. I'm always talking ball on Sundays there, but I hope you guys enjoyed. And until next time, peace out and stay safe.